Hey everybody, Terry here, and today I'm going to show you how to change the inner and outer tie rods on your BMW Z3. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. And my previous video was me doing the sway bar links and bushings, so now we're going to do the tie rods. So let's go ahead and get in there and I'll show you how it's done. Alright, so right here we have your outer tie rod, and then your inner tie rod is going to be underneath the boot right here. And if you take a good look at mine, you can see my boots are completely blown out, so it's time for me to replace these. This is going to be a 16mm fastener here, and I think this is a 22mm. I don't have a 22, so I'm going to be using an adjustable wrench. You're going to want to loosen up this nut here first, then we'll pop off the little ball joint on this end. So let's go ahead and get this loose. Alright, so Tyler's going to go ahead and loosen up that nut.
There it is.
Alright, you just want to get it loosened up to where you can adjust it by hand. Alright, he got it. So now we can freely spin. Perfect. And now if you're ever just doing your outer tie rods, this nut is your placement marker as to how far to twist this back on and then tighten it down. I'm going to be doing the inner tie rod as well. So if you have to use the special tool that slides over this, you'll have to take the nut off. So you're going to want to count your turns on the outer tie rod so you can get it close to the same measurement on here to get your alignment very similar. In my case, it's very easy to just slide the boot down, take the adjustable wrench and loosen this up. I don't need no special tools. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that after we pop this loose. So let's go ahead and get this taken care of next. So depending on what you need, you have different tools. We have your pickle fork, and then we have this tie rod splitting tool. This is the one that works kind of better on this particular one. Usually I use pickle fork, but I found out from the other side that pickle fork doesn't really work on this. So we're going to be using this tool today. And pop goes the weasel. Alright, so now what you normally would do then is you would then twist off your outer tie rod and you would count the turns so you can match it back up. I'm going to take this all off as one piece so I can measure it to have it line up, and then I'll count the number of turns that I use to remove the new one so that way I know how many to put it back on once I have it matched up with the old one. So I'm going to do mine different. So what we're going to do is we're going to be removing these metal clips right here. Tyler's going to go in there with pliers and have a go at it that way. And then those come right off. I bought replacement boots, and the replacement boots come with zip ties, so we won't need to worry about these kind of clips or clamps. Alright, and then slide your boot down. Now, one thing to take note of, we didn't do it on this one because I know mine's fine. If you're unsure of the condition of your steering rack, put a container or a rug or something here, because when you slide this boot back, if you ever slide your boot back and a bunch of power steering fluid comes pouring out, then your steering rack inner seals are no good, and you would need to do either a rebuild on the seals or replace the whole rack and pinion, depending on if yours is serviceable or not. Mine doesn't have any fluid dripping out, as you see, so we're just going to slide this boot down. Alright, so Tyler's going to be using the adjustable wrench to bust this loose. Like I said, there is a special tool. I do own it, but these are not that tight. and the adjustable wrench works just fine for the Z3, so I don't really need the special tool. All right, he's going to go ahead and crack this loose. Should be good. All right, I'll go for a second. And now we should be able to just freely spin the whole thing out. So now I'm just going to spin the whole tie rod all together until it comes off. Just like that. And now we have the inner and outer tie rod assembly fully removed. So let's go ahead and get the new one. Alright, now I wanted Lemforder tie rods, but they had the left side they had and the right side I think was sold out, or maybe it was vice versa. They had one full assembly, but the other side was sold out. And I didn't want to mix and match, so I decided to just go with Delphi instead. This is a really good quality brand as well, and it's just one step down from the Lemforder. So these are still really, really good. So I'll have Delphi tie rods in. So let's go ahead and put these in. This is the part number for the right hand side, and I think that 1 turns to a 0 for the left hand side. All the parts and everything that I use in the video will be posted in the description below, so you can easily find what you're looking for. Alright, and here we have the outer tie rod assembly with our, well, it's the inner and outer. It's the whole assembly. We have our old tie rod assembly with our new tie rod assembly. And what I want to do is I want to match up the length, so that way it'll be close to the same. So it looks like I might need to make some slight adjustments to match this up. So I'll twist it in and get it to match up, and then we'll go ahead and put it in with a new boot. It does come with a protective cover right here, so make sure you don't forget to remove that protective cover before you seat that ball joint into your steering knuckle. Alright, so it's all matched up. Now if you needed to take it apart to get a special tool or something, then you would count the threads as you spin it off. I have it to where it looks like it matches up, so we're going to leave it right where it's at, and I'm just going to put the whole thing as one piece in with the new boot, and we're going to tighten it down. Alright, so it's a little bit of a pain to slip the boot on, so what I like to do is I'll put it on first and strap it down on this end, so that way once I spin this in, I only have to fight with this end, because it gets to be troublesome. Just make sure you don't forget to put the boot on before you fully put the assembly back in. Alright, so I went ahead and I slipped the boot on here. It helps if you have like a little pick tool to kind of coast it around. So now all I gotta do now is take a zip tie, and we're just gonna strap this in nice and tight, and then we can go ahead and screw the inner part in, tighten it down, then strap this end in. Alright, so I'm gonna have to remove the outer tie rod so I can freely spin this on, otherwise I end up hitting the strut. So I'm gonna count my turns. I already have it marked where it stops, but I'm going to count the turns just to be sure that I have it back in the same spot. And now we can go ahead and just spin this right in. Alright, so we got it as tight as it'll go by hand, so now Tyler's going to go ahead on here with the adjustable wrench, and he'll crank down on it, and he'll get it good and tight, because there's no way to really properly torque it. If you have a crow's foot that you can attach to a torque wrench, you could probably do it, but I don't have that, so we're just going to get it good and tight.
That's all I can do.
Alright. Then go ahead and slip the boot over and strap it in. Alright, so then here's your spec. So like I said, if you have the crow's foot that you can attach a torque wrench on, then you can torque that down. And so the inner tie rod is 52 pound-feet if you're able to properly torque it. Then your outer tie rods, the lock nut in the center is going to be 26 pound-feet, and the outer tie rod ball joint is going to be 33 pound-feet. All right, and then once you've put your outer tie rod back on, then you go ahead and you tighten this lock nut down. Mine's just going to be finger tight right now because I actually need to remove this because I'm replacing my lower control arm. So it's going to be a lot easier for me to do that with this removed. But just for the sake of this video, after you tighten this down to spec based on what I said in the book, you then would then move your steering knuckle over and slip this right in, and then you would bolt it down. But I don't want to actually put it in because I need to keep this off, and I don't want to damage my boot. But that's all you got to do for that, and then just torque everything down, and then your tie rods are completed. All right, everybody, and that's the video for how to replace your inner and outer tie rods on a BMW Z3. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any other Z3 content. See you guys on the next video.